Welcome to Brainstorm MTG. I'm ELD, and this is Fast Effect, Double Speed, Magic the Gathering. This time we are from Scholars Games in Brockton, Massachusetts as part of our Wednesday night Legacy series. I am on Storm versus Rodney on Dragon, a Reanimator deck using World Gorger Dragon as well as Gristlebrand, giving it the ability to play around mostly Caracas. That is a card that is a trump versus most of the reanimation strategies, from Elish Norn to Gristlebrand to Iona. Caracas answers all of them, but not World Gorger Dragon. And it looks like Gristlebrand on the first turn here is going to enable Unmask and possibly some more discard. We'll see what type of hand is left standing after Rodney's explosive first turn here with a Entomb off of Dark Ritual and then Dance of the Dead. So Gristlebrand is tapped, and he is slightly bigger due to the +1/+1 from Dance, but he will not untap during his untap step unless he pays 2. See how this plays out. A World Gorger going into the graveyard. But Rodney's going to need to have it in hand, because he will not be able to draw more cards off of Gristlebrand unless he has access to like a Dark Ritual to untap him. Probe going Dance and Sunscorched Desert. So it looks like Dance of the Dead on World Gorger will do it. Duress. There's an Animate and a Dance, along with some Cabal Therapies and Thoughtseize, so this is going to be very bad. Taking Animate Dead. Pass the turn back to Rodney. He draws. Plays the Desert. I lose 1. Lotus Petal into Cabal Therapy just to make sure that nothing is up with those 2 cards that were drawn. Thinking it through. Fairy Macabre, the Surgical Extraction. There's a couple of cards. Either of them are going to be main deck. And now Dance of the Dead. Going to hit that World Gorger Dragon. He's going to flicker in and out of existence, and that is going to end game 1. During the shuffling, I'll go ahead and bring anybody not familiar with the combo up to speed. World Gorger Dragon is a 6 casting cost, 7/7, trample, flying. Those stat lines typically don't matter. What does matter is it enters the battlefield and leave the battlefield trigger. When he enters the battlefield, you exile all other permanents you control. When he leaves the battlefield, you return all of those permanents to the battlefield. So what happens with World Gorger Dragon is Animate, Dance of the Dead, or Necromancy, return him from the graveyard to the battlefield. When that happens, World Gorgers enter the battlefield trigger, removes all your permanents, which includes Dance of the Dead, Animate, or Necromancy. When that happens, World Gorger Dragon goes to the graveyard as he's no longer being animated by Dance or Necromancy or Animate, and he goes back to the graveyard. So that will then bring back the original permanents, and we've come full circle. Now, every time that cycle happens, your lands enter the battlefield untapped, which allows you to tap them for mana, and any other triggered abilities would happen. Now, Rodney has filled his deck with some cards like Piranha Marsh and Sunscorched Desert, 2 lands that when they enter the battlefield, your opponent either loses 1 life or takes 1 damage. So both of those will allow you to deal infinite damage, or I guess until your opponent is dead, 1 damage at a time. And Rodney here, starting out on a Dark Ritual deck of his own. I'll be on the play here. Looks like he's keeping the 7. This deck that he's playing, very much a Dark Ritual deck as well. Storm perhaps makes better use of the rituals, but Rodney's going to be able to use rituals to push out both discard and animate effects. One thing worth noting with World Warrior Dragon combo is it gets to play Necromancy, which is 2 and a black, and it can be played at instant speed. And what that means is your World Warrior Dragon combo can actually kill people in response to things like Surgical or Tormod's Crypt. So if you can get to 5 mana, which is not too big an ask when you're playing cards like Dark Ritual, you can potentially play an Animate Dead and then respond to their graveyard removal with a Necromancy, ending the game on the spot. And it looks like Chain of Vapor in hand, Preordain. Now, a fun thing with World Gorger Dragon combo, you see there I've got a Chain of Vapor in hand. Chain of Vapor versus World Gorger Dragon would result in all of those permanents never returning. So the way that you would stack that, if you ever find yourself playing against World Gorger Dragon, is to stack the removes from play trigger and then respond with a chain or Swords to Plowshares, whatever you like, to remove the World Gorger Dragon. When that happens, his leaves play trigger happens, returning the permanents, but there have been no return permanents yet. No removed permanents yet. And then the removes trigger is the last thing to resolve, resulting in an empty board on the side of the dragon player. We've got, on Rodney's end here, Faithless Looting, doing some digging away, Lotus Petal, Dance. We'll see what he takes. And he's got a Gristlebrand, enters in tapped. And this is looking very grim here. Rodney up a game. Looking like he's about to take the match here. He has got a Gristlebrand in play. He's firing off an Unmask. Gonna respond with a fetch. Most likely a Chain of Vapor. And return the Gristlebrand to hand. Question of which one I'd rather have in his hand. Almost certainly the Gristlebrand, not the Dance. And actually going to let this discard spell resolve, interestingly enough. We'll see how this plays. I've got Brainstorm and Chain of Vapor. He's going to be firing off another discard spell. Brainstorm definitely preferable. Perhaps would have been better to Brainstorm, put the Chain of Vapor on top of the deck. Second Unmask is responded to with the Chain. Now Dark Ritual goes, so just Infernal and Dark Petition in hand. This is a garbage hand at this point. Rodney going to discard. Gotta think. Very low percentage to win this game. Cabal Therapy. Taking Animate Dead. Faithless Looting. Rodney now needing to dig. World Gorger going into the graveyard. And another Faithless Looting. So this is still a bit of a game. Really looking for something like a Brainstorm on the side of Storm. Rodney really digging. And Cabal Therapy. Spreading the hand, so now no cards in hand. Much less of a game. Sunscorched Desert. A flashback Faithless Looting. Rodney just digging for an animate. Ataxian Probe, seeing Entomb, Unmask, LED getting played, and Dark Ritual. Faithless Looting spinning again, the card doing a tremendous amount of work here. In this matchup, almost reminiscent of Bazaar of Baghdad in Vintage in terms of its ability to just keep digging. Not at card advantage, but certainly card quality, the only thing that matters here. Really just needs to find a dance or animate. And it looks like Entomb for a Faithless Looting as well, trying to keep this looting going. That is a lot of digging. And there's the dance. That should do it right there. And Dragon rears its head here in Legacy. Has not been seen for a while, but it gets the job done here. That's all for this one. If you enjoyed the video, please help grow the channel by subscribing. You'll be notified when we upload new videos like Fast Effect, Double Speed Magic with commentary, or Untapped, our raw tournament gameplay. Thanks for watching.